Good morning and thanks for joining us for KBOI 2 News Midday. I'm Rick Douglas. Now to your top 11 stories at 11. Two people went to the hospital early this morning after a rental truck rolled in the median near the stage stop exit. State police say the driver was heading east when he struck a guardrail and then bounced to the other side of the interstate. He plowed through a second guardrail, striking the Mayfield Bridge and rolling the box truck onto its side.
At this point, the pillar is compromised. We have a crew from ITD coming out with an engineer to assess the damage. We're not allowing traffic to go over that side of the bridge where the pillar is compromised on.
And in fact, we're told the Mayfield Bridge is closed until further notice. The extent of injuries in this morning's crash not yet known, but one of the people in the truck suffered a leg injury, according to state police. One lane of eastbound I-84 is open at this time. Royal Dutch Shell said this morning it is halting exploration off the northwestern coast of Alaska. The company said an exploratory well found oil and gas, but not enough to make drilling worthwhile. The end of the controversial project marks a victory for environmentalists who are concerned about the ecological damage that drilling could cause. It's also more proof that falling energy prices are having a major impact on oil exploration. Doctors in Salt Lake City say Max Wyatt is making good progress after he was hit by a minivan last week while riding his bicycle, and that is music to the ears of the folks of the Boise Bicycle Project. They're offering bracelets made out of bicycle spokes and also materials if you want to make your own. The idea came from Max's mother, who fashioned a bracelet to pass the time in the hospital while keeping watch over her 5-year-old.
It's cool that we've been able to find a way to make something that is kind of just around that we haven't figured out a way to use in order to help somebody else start kind of bending it.
Even though the bracelet making is free, the Boise Bike Project says many folks are adding to the tip jar as a way of helping out. The proceeds will go toward helping the Wyatt family with medical bills. It's a big day at the United Nations, the first for general debate as member states convene for the 70th session of the General Assembly. Russian President Vladimir Putin was among the first to arrive this morning. He will meet with President Obama for the first time in nearly a year. The two leaders will discuss rising tensions over Moscow's military engagement in Syria and the crisis in Ukraine. A fifth person has died from the crash of a charter bus and a Ride the Ducks vehicle in Seattle last week. The deceased 20-year-old woman was one of about 45 students and staff from North Seattle College who were sightseeing when the duck boat suddenly swerved into their tour bus on Seattle's Aurora Bridge. Dozens were injured and 13 are still listed as patients at Harborview Medical Center. Hundreds turned out this weekend at the state capitol to participate in what's become an annual global prayer vigil for imprisoned Boise pastor Saeed Abedini. Saturday marked the third anniversary since Abedini was locked up in the Evin prison in Tehran. And since then, his wife Naghmeh has worked to get the U.S. government to put pressure on Tehran to free her husband. Another vigil is scheduled for tonight. Also this weekend, the National Alliance on Mental Health sponsored a march in downtown Boise. Participants were greeted by Boise Police Chief Bill Bones, Idaho State lawmaker Cherie Buckner-Webb, and Boise City Councilman T.J. Thompson. The event was designed to throw a spotlight on mental illness, a problem that afflicts 1 in 5 adults in the U.S., many of whom go untreated. A construction crane will block a traffic lane on Capitol Boulevard soon. The crane is coming in to help with the Gardner Company's new transportation center. So the left lane of Capitol Boulevard will be closed to drivers starting at Front Street and opening up beyond the site. ACHD says the crane will remain in place for about a week. Some residents are concerned about the lane closure.
Oh, they are. That's a busy street, so that might be a little difficult for commuters.
It's crazy. I don't know, honey. Somebody's going to wreck. Somebody's going to hit somebody. It's all confusing.
Other than this.
And in addition to the lane closure, there are already restrictions for pedestrians and cyclists on Capitol Boulevard between Myrtle and Broad Street. They will be in place until February of 2017. Well, we hope you stopped to see the lunar eclipse last night. It's been more than 30 years since you could watch a supermoon in combination with an eclipse. Sunday's supermoon eclipse lasted about an hour and 11 minutes, and thanks to mostly clear skies, it was visible in the Americas and also in Europe, Africa, and parts of Asia. The next such celestial event won't happen until 2033. It was a good weekend for Apple's new iPhones. The company says it sold 13 million iPhone 6s and 6S Plus devices in just 3 days. That's a record for Apple. In a statement, CEO Tim Cook said early customer feedback on the new iPhones has been positive. The new iPhones feature a touchscreen that senses how long and hard someone is pressing. They also have a stronger aluminum body and higher resolution cameras. And grocery chain Whole Foods said this morning it is cutting close to 1,500 jobs, or about 1.6% of its workforce. Whole Foods says the cuts will come over the next 8 weeks as it focuses on lowering prices and keeping up with competition. Whole Foods suffered some bad publicity when officials in New York City found that the chain was overcharging customers.